Hello, welcome to part 2 of T&D Productions' look into the use of the words expat and immigrant. In part 1, we looked at some other YouTubers and asked local people's opinions. On this installment, we traveled to Danang, Vietnam to discuss this with a few members of that foreigner community. But before we begin to hear what they say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth looks at expat life. So let's begin. One question we asked some of them is what they thought of the use of the words expat and immigrant.
The way I understand it, and I could be completely ignorant, naive, I kind of see an immigrant as someone who's moved to a country permanently. So they've gone there, they've put in their roots, and they plan to stay there and have their children and work and die there.
So if you're here on the contract, like a short term, like a year or two, you might be an expat. But if you're here like forever, yeah, you might call yourself an immigrant.
Yeah, I feel it's quite unfairly weighted, yes. It does seem that one group of people are considered expats, whereas others are immigrants, and I'm not quite sure where that distinction lies, if there even is a distinction. I don't see what the difference would be as to someone who was moving to the UK as a nurse or a doctor being called an immigrant. I mean, are they expats too, just because they come from, say, India or Sri Lanka? You know, or why do they become immigrants, even though they're holding a position like doctor or even teacher, perhaps? But they're still called an immigrant because they migrated there. Okay, so we're expats, and you know, if we're not here on, say, a short-term mission of some kind, then we've emigrated here too, making us migrants, making us immigrants.
All of my ancestors were immigrants to the U.S. Right? They came over seeking a new life in a new place that's different. But I think an expat is kind of a new thing. It exists as a result of globalization and post-colonialism. It's a position of privilege wherein you get to go live somewhere else if you want to, and because visa rules are to your advantage coming from where you come from. Immigrants, on the other hand, don't have those privileges. Usually an expat, such as myself, can pick up and go home whenever they want to, and do so comfortably, going back to a stable political and economic situation. But an immigrant doesn't usually have that kind of advantage. Usually they're going somewhere because they need to, or they really, really want to, without necessarily looking back. And I think that's the distinction which exists in the present political reality and didn't 50 years ago.
Well, the difference is for me personally is depending on the country, but I'll stay with Vietnam. An expat is a person that mainly teaches English and basically doesn't really plan to stay and live here like forever, like, you know, change citizenship or get dual citizenship. But an immigrant is like, for me, is actually like not an English teacher and is fleeing their country and actually like wants to get a new passport and wants to live here, get roots here, you know, basically never leave.
We both come from countries where black people and every other color, like Chinese, any other ethnicity, speaks the same as us. They've been as old as we are in terms of generation. My dad's French. I might be less. I might be newer than someone who's black or any other color. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's marketable. Our Caucasianness is marketable, and therefore we can stay easily and not be given all these opportunities. So yeah, that's the reality that we live in.
So, it seems the answers are as diverse as the people. We also asked some of them if they think there is a distinction in how people are treated in regards to where a person's from.
Not too many companies in Asia that we've found that have invited American, Caribbean, Indian natives. They speak English beautifully.
Same with Nigerians, like Nigerians cannot find a job, and they, especially here, and they are actually fluent English speakers.
I don't really think it is related here onto this definition. Maybe for someone it's something else, but not Like,
Yeah, I mean, it could be based on the country's
Yeah.
rules as well.
A replacement term people advocate for, instead of using expat or immigrant, is global citizen. How keen are some of these people on using that term instead?
Well, I mean, global citizen is I think it's kind of a rosy, rose-hued glasses sort of way of looking at it. And yeah, you do like to feel that way, right? You do get to, and when you move around and are an expat for a number of years, without a doubt, you feel at home in a lot of different places. But at the same time, I've got to think that deep down, I mean, we are all citizens of the same world, for sure. But deep down, you're a citizen of the privileged place that gives you that passport that lets you go wherever you want. And that's a big difference. So I think global citizen is an idealized way of looking at being an expat.
And finally, the last question we're asked is, what do our friends in Danang consider themselves?
Expats. Who knows how long we'll be here for? It went from 1 year to 2 years, and the contract is up at this kind of contract. My husband, with my husband's work, is up at the end of this year, December, but he'll probably get offered another contract, and that might be open. So who knows?
I migrated here, my home is here now, so I suppose I emigrated to Vietnam, making me an immigrant. Yeah.
I've been an expat in 10 different countries, including those in Europe and in different parts of Asia. And yes, I've always been an expat. I've never permanently moved to another country per se, though at the same time, I don't know if I necessarily feel at home in America so much either. So there is a certain mindset that comes with being an expat, but at the same time, it's not one of necessity. It's just one that sort of evolves.
I consider myself an expat because I've lived, I don't ever plan to actually, change my citizenship. I don't plan to actually, I don't know where my life is going. Right now, yes, I want to stay here, live here, but if things could change within a year or two, then I go maybe to Cambodia, or I go to Europe, or I go to, not going back to America, but I don't really want to have, roots.
Well, there you have it. Opinions of foreigners in Danang, Vietnam about the use of the words. So if you like this, please remember to...
Hold on! Before we go, I just want to let you know that in the next video, I will be discussing life as an expat in Danang, Vietnam with our special guests. So stay tuned for the next video.
Yeah, but also remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also, leave a comment about your thoughts. Tell us what city you'd like to see us pop up in next. Until next time,
May the force live long and prosper with you.
Till all